Masculinity. Does masculinity exist? I'm not so sure that it does.
Gender is a social construct. Masculinity and femininity isn't inherent in us.
I mean, I completely disagree in the fact that I don't think masculinity and femininity is a social construct. I think it's something that happens within nature, through different species.
No, I don't think gender should define anyone. I think that there's a really big difference between sex and gender.
Masculinity as a concept, I think, is sexist. It implies that a certain set of qualities which often we perceive to be positive qualities, assertiveness and so on, physical strength, are exclusive to men.
Picture the box man, wearing a suit of cardboard boxes from top to bottom, using his kickboxing skills to fight crime in Gotham.
If some of us are performing masculinities, what are they based on? First-hand experiences of others around us, from representations in the media and Hollywood, or from preconceived ideas of what we feel is expected of us?
Really in the media, like mainstream media, advertising and TV programmes, you don't get a lot of representation of diversity.
They simplify things, so your man is big and tough and muscular and strong, and your woman is sexy and a bit more ladylike, and obviously life's not actually that simple, but that's how the media makes it.
I was first rejected by a girl back in 2010. So in response, I used the internet to find what women liked in men. I created a long checklist of desirable traits, and I tried to fulfill them one by one in my attempt to get more dates.
You get different types of masculinity. You might get a working class masculinity, you might get a white masculinity. They're all different. And as I say, in any given society there will be one type of masculinity that is held up as the ideal type.
Oh, He-Man?
Wolverine?
Oh, yeah.
When I picture masculinity, I can't help but see Jeremy Clarkson's face. And if Jeremy Clarkson defines masculinity, then I really don't want any part of it.
Where I came from, like Croydon, I couldn't kind of walk down the street and not feel self-conscious in a massive way, just because of abuse that you could get from other men.
Research has shown that when men can feel threatened, that they do revert to those overt traits of masculinity, which can manifest itself in violence, homophobia, aggressive competitiveness, and other displays of power assertion.
And I think probably the biggest thing in society which has changed is the nature of work.
Back home, like all our dads are men. Yeah, like, I fixed everything, do anything.
Handyman.
I don't think we're the same, no.
The content of a job is not inherently masculine or feminine. We project our ideas onto those jobs.
Being the modern man is being able to define yourself for who you are rather than like allowing someone else to define it for you.
If feminism is seeking to establish equality, then both men and women play a really key role in achieving that.
What about masculinity in relation to females? Women are more than capable of being masculine?
Yes, men are losing their masculinity because of feminism, but that doesn't mean that they're losing their right to be assertive, to be dominant, to be physically strong, to do any of the things that they've historically done. It just means that we no longer say that that's something that is only men's right to do.
There might not be a definition, and that's sort of the best thing we can hope for. You know, a modern man is literally just a man who is alive now.
You can define that yourselves rather than like having like society define it for you.
How do we start to open up this conversation to people that wouldn't necessarily voluntarily discuss things like this so openly? How do we make this a conversation for everyone?